Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a really tricky question, one that our legal systems are scrambling to answer. When an AI makes a mistake and causes real harm, who's actually responsible? So, we all know AI can do some incredible things, right? It can beat the best gamers on the planet, it can drive our cars, but here's the kicker. Can you sue it? Our legal system, which took centuries to figure out how to handle people and companies, just wasn't built for smart, autonomous machines. So what happens when one of them messes up?
And wow, the speed of this change is just mind-blowing. I mean, think about it. It took decades to get from a computer beating a chess master in '97 to another one mastering the way more complex game of Go. But then, boom, in just the last couple of years, we've got fully self-driving cars and tools like ChatGPT becoming a huge part of our lives. AI is officially out of the lab and in the real world.
You know, there's this fantastic quote from one of AI's pioneers that really nails this funny thing we humans do. The second an AI technology starts working perfectly, we stop thinking of it as AI. It just becomes, well, technology. We just get used to it. Right, but here's the problem. Our legal systems, they can't just get used to it. They were designed to manage what people do and later what corporations do. And that's the core conflict we're looking at today. Our brand new intelligent machines are on a collision course with our centuries-old laws. Okay, so to really get a handle on the legal side of things, we first need to understand what makes today's AI so different. And it really boils down to two key ideas: autonomy and adaptiveness. First up, autonomy. And that's exactly what it sounds like. It's an AI's ability to go after a goal without a person micromanaging every single step. Think of a self-driving car navigating through rush hour traffic. Nobody's holding its hand. And then there's this second part, and honestly, this is the real game changer: adaptiveness. This is the AI's power to learn from new information and actually change how it behaves. Remember AlphaGo? It famously made a move that baffled all the human experts, a move it taught itself. Its own creators never programmed that. So you take that autonomy, you mix in that adaptiveness, and bam, you've got this massive legal headache. If an AI acts on its own, in a way its creators never intended, and someone gets hurt, who's on the hook? You can't exactly sue the machine. This is what experts call the liability gap, and it's one of the biggest puzzles our legal system is facing right now. All right, let's dive deeper and see how this liability gap isn't just a theory. It's creating very real problems that courts are wrestling with as we speak. The legal problem really snaps into focus when you look at the two basic kinds of AI. For years, AI was pretty straightforward. It was rule-based. You put X in, you always got Y out. Predictable. But today's AI is a whole different beast. It's probabilistic. It learns, it changes, and here's the key word: it can be unpredictable. And yeah, that unpredictability, it's a total nightmare for the law. How on earth do you prove causation? Let's take that robot example. If a company does everything it can to make a robot safe, but the AI learns some new harmful behavior on its own, was that something the company could have reasonably foreseen? And what about proving intent? If an AI just starts spitting out lies, how can you prove the company knew it was happening? But it gets even weirder. It's not just that AI can be unpredictable. A lot of the time, we literally can't figure out why it did what it did, even after the fact. This is what everyone calls the famous black box problem. And look, this isn't just speculation. The folks who actually build these things admit it. As one of the top developers put it, a surprising fact is that nobody really knows how they work internally. The math is just so complex that the reasoning is a total mystery, sometimes even to them. And this black box issue causes all sorts of problems. In government, for instance, how do you make sure an AI decision wasn't biased if you can't see its logic? If an agency has to explain its decisions by law, what does it do when it just doesn't know the reason? And for you, as a regular person, trying to challenge an AI's decision could mean fighting for access to protected trade secrets and hiring expensive experts. That's a huge roadblock to getting justice. So all of this brings us right back to the central question: who do we blame? And the answer gets even muddier when you realize that an AI isn't just one thing made by one company.
You have to think of a modern AI system like a really complicated assembly line. Seriously, you've got one group collecting data. Then, a big company like Google or OpenAI builds the core foundation model. Then, another company might come along and tweak it for a specific job. And then another developer puts it into an app that someone like a doctor actually uses.
So let's put all those pieces together. An AI medical tool messes up. It gives a wrong diagnosis and a patient gets hurt. Who was actually responsible here? Who owed that patient a duty of care? Was it the doctor who used the tool, the hospital, the developer who made the app, or the big company that built the original model who has no idea this patient even exists? The responsibility just gets spread so thin, it's almost impossible to pin down. Okay, so given all of these massive challenges, the unpredictability, the black box, this tangled web of responsibility, some legal experts are now floating a really, and I mean really, radical idea. What if we just gave some advanced AI its own legal personality? I know, it sounds wild. The argument for it is that it could fill that liability gap. You could actually sue the AI itself. But the arguments against it are just as strong. Would this just become a convenient shield for developers to hide behind? And practically, how would an AI pay damages? And for a lot of people, it just feels ethically wrong. But before you dismiss this as pure sci-fi, get this. The idea of giving legal personhood to something that isn't human, it's not new at all. We do it all the time with corporations, right? They're treated as persons under the law. But it goes even further. New Zealand has granted legal personality to a river to help protect it. In India, some temples have a similar status. So you see, this isn't just a technical debate about algorithms. The rise of AI is forcing us to ask some really fundamental questions about what responsibility even means in a world we now share with these intelligent autonomous machines. There are no easy answers, but we're left with this massive question. Should a machine ever be a person in the eyes of the law? The question isn't if we'll have to answer it, but when and how.